While diving, the man suddenly spots something, an unexpected find, a carved stone buried right under the sand. Based on his years of treasure hunting instinct, he is sure this is ballast from an ancient ship. He swims up right away to tell his team the good news, because this means there must be a sunken old ship nearby, and shipwrecks usually hide tons of treasure, so they dive right back into search. But after hours of salvage work, all they find is worthless scrap metal. Just as they are about to give up, Paul suddenly spots something, a flickering light in the distant seaweed. He swims over quickly to check it out, and finds a crashed cargo plane. What's inside the cabin shocks them even more. Dozens of tons of flour stacked neatly, worth at least $1 million. Back on the boat, Mark thinks they should sell some first, but Paul and Anna insist they should never touch illegal stuff, and dump all the flour they brought up right back into the sea, because they worry it might bring deadly trouble to the team. But greedy Mark thinks otherwise. He secretly takes a few bags, planning to sell them to a local gang, but he never expects the buyer is the real owner. They have been searching for this shipment for 3 years. The boss detains Mark on the spot, and threatens Paul, bring all of the flour in 3 days, or Mark gets chopped up for fish food. For the sake of friendship, Paul has no choice but to salvage the flour. But before he can leave, gang members stop him and demand money. To save time, Paul hands over the treasure they salvaged earlier. Those gang members barely leave shore before they are eliminated. Turns out the second boss has always wanted the shipment for himself. Paul knows he can't let him succeed, so he dives into the sea to escape. Back on land, Paul's mind is a mess, and then another bad call comes in. The second boss has kidnapped Anna, forcing Paul to hand over the flour, or Anna will suffer a fate worse than death. At this point, Paul has no other choice. But when he brings the second boss near the plane, Paul suddenly changes his plan and dives into the water. The second boss and his men jump in to chase him, only to see bags of flour, all sliced open. The flour turns to white clouds instantly. This was all part of Paul's plan to distract the second boss. Meanwhile, Paul has already ambushed inside the plane. They strike first, taking out one henchman and injure another with a harpoon. The strong smell of blood attracts sharks immediately. In seconds, the henchman is torn apart. Even now, the second boss refuses to give up. He aims a harpoon right at Paul. With nowhere left to run, Paul uses every bit of strength and smashes the oxygen tank's valve. The tank blasts out like a cannonball, shooting straight at the second boss. A massive explosion follows, leaving the second boss and the wreckage at the bottom of the sea. After all this chaos, the team returns to the cannon they found earlier. Just as the cannon is about to surface, the rope suddenly snaps, and the cannon sinks again. But this time luck is on their side. It smashes into a decayed ship. Inside the cabin are piles of blinding gold bars,